Copycat Rolls-Royce Cullinan from China costs less than 10% of the original. Video shows SUV inside and out. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Copycat Rolls-Royce and deciding whether or not this is something that we would buy. So here is the perspective Rolls-Royce Copycat. I believe it's made in China from what the description says, Chinese vehicle here. I mean, who would have thought China would be copying people's products and trying to sell them off as their own, right? It doesn't sound like China at all. But when we look at like the front end of this, I can see some of the boxiness within what a Rolls-Royce looks like. You got the SUV, which is the Cullinan, and then obviously this is trying to be luxury. You know, from the interior here, you can see some nice headrests. I don't know. I have the Cullinan pulled up here, and I don't necessarily think that these are really that similar. Like, yes, they have big boxy front ends, kind of a, decently sized SUV. It's a luxury SUV. Is it the exact Rolls-Royce? Probably not. To me, it looks a little bit more like a BMW. But being one of the most expensive, luxurious vehicles on sale in the world, the Rolls-Royce Cullinan is often seen as highly aspirational vehicle with tremendous desirability. Aside from being one of the most revered dream cars globally, it's also served as inspiration for many other car brands due to its impeccable luxury. Speaking of inspiration, Chinese car brands often take this to a deep level of nearly copying designs of global cars for their products. One such car brand, Hongyi, has now introduced a new electric vehicle heavily inspired by the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Okay, so it's heavily inspired, which we don't have a problem with. I personally love the Rolls-Royce. I think if you're going to copy something, though, you can only be the next best version of it. So I'd really rather see them go off and do something on their own. But at the end of the day, how many different car looks can we really create here? So if we scroll down a little bit further, this is kind of the demo of the car, if you will. So let's kind of take a look around and see what we think. Now, this video is in a different language, so I'm not going to play it out loud. I'm actually going to maybe give you the translation here. And I don't speak any other languages, but I'm just going to surmise what she's saying. So I thought this was like AI for a second. I thought that girl was fake, but she must just be modeling the vehicle. So as we can see here, big boxy front end, as I mentioned before. Headlights don't even resemble Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce has some boxier headlights as well. These look a little bit sleeker. You got the daytime running lamps. You got your fog lights down below. And I'm going to kind of skip through here so we can kind of get the gist of it, right? Little kid coming in with the dancing. I like it. Front end. You can see here, looks like it's got some cameras on the front end. Of course, any kind of high-end luxury vehicle, you got to have cameras on the front end. Make sure you don't run into stuff that's in front of you. You can see the park assist here. You got the fog lights in there as well. And like I said, it kind of looks a little bit like a BMW. From the side, though, kind of looks like a Volkswagen. A little bit longer wheelbase than you can kind of see from that front angle. And it just kind of looks a little bit wonky to me. Not like what a Cullinan looks like. A Cullinan kind of embodies class to me. And that probably has a lot to do with the way my brand perception is with regards to Rolls-Royce. But as you can see here, kind of like a little bit more of a straighter line. Comes down a little bit. I don't know. Just kind of a weird, like, back end of the car here. I don't know. Just looks kind of strange to me. It doesn't look as premium as a Rolls-Royce, but it does look pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. So, you guys can see here the door handles are got some of the Tesla-style door handles, if you will, kind of poking out of the vehicle. I guess you got to click them to get them to bounce out. And I'm not sure what's up with the rims. It seems like all of these electrical vehicles, I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, but this is actually an electric vehicle. So, if we look here, this new luxury vehicle from China is an all-electric version of the Hongyi HS9, which is already available in the Chinese car market as the brand's flagship product. So very interesting. I'm just not sure why on electric vehicles we have to get really weird with the rims, like do things we've never done before. I guess it's because of aerodynamics, so that does make a little bit more sense. However, I don't know. I would rather on a luxury vehicle, let's be a little less aerodynamic, right? And a little more luxury, if you will. So it looks like the back window is completely blacked out. I'm not sure if these front ones are rolled down, but that's kind of luxury, right? If you're riding in the back, you don't want to really be seen. Looks like we got some other lights there. The rear of the car really kind of reminds me of like a Subaru look for some reason, like kind of like a hatchbacky Subaru look. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not a car enthusiast. We're just taking a look at this Copycat Rolls here, but I don't really like the vibe on it. It's not really giving me like a premium vibe. But then again, I've never seen a Chinese car. Maybe this is premium in China. So if we get a good look at the interior here, this is kind of cool. It seems like on interiors of cars, we're moving towards the more screens, the more like technologically advanced it is. So we got a little iPod here, iPod. Who even uses iPods anymore? We got the iPad in the center stack, and then you got this whole dash as a screen. I kind of like how cars are moving towards that. It's kind of making it a lot more seamless, because before, you'd have the brake, and you'd have like, you'd have like where your center stack is on the dash, and then you'd have like a brake, and then you'd have your center screen, and then you'd have no screen. But this is like very seamless. I love how long it is. You guys can see kind of like this luxury leather here. That looks pretty good. Looks like there's luxury materials in here. I'll be honest with you guys, I feel like they took a lot from BMW, maybe Mercedes as well. I feel like Mercedes really kind of has these same kind of speaker grills. It kind of, the interior has a vibe of Mercedes to me, more so. Mercedes also takes advantage of that full elongated screen across the inside of the dash. And yeah, it looks like a Pontiac logo there. I mean, the inside of the vehicle does look very premium. It looks like it's very high quality. I wish they turned it on so that way we could see all the controls. But like I said, I am a fan. The more screens the vehicle has, the better. I want like the most technologically advanced screen possible. Now, this right here kind of looks like maybe like some eye readers. It looks like, when you have those cars that drive themselves, sometimes they'll have things that are like shining back into your eyes to make sure that your vision's down the road. Don't really like that, but you guys know how the Chinese are with their control. You know what I mean? So they're probably watching their drivers to be sure that they're paying attention. Not a big fan of that, I got to tell you. But however, it's probably just like mandatory in China at this point. So she's probably going over some of the features in here. However, we can't see them because the screens aren't on. This is probably a prototype if I had to guess. Super luxury kind of interior here. Looks good. We're going to get to the price here in just a second. I kind of just wanted to roll through this video, kind of take a look at what the inside looked like. Pretty premium. If that is a screen, then that is super awesome. I'm not sure if there's screen. It looks like it is a screen. Screen's built into the back of the seats. You're in a luxury vehicle whenever you got your own kind of pillow headrest behind your head. I love that. I love the cross stitching as well. That's another sign of luxury there. And then of course in the back, you got the iPad in the middle, kind of probably to control everything that's back there. So, dude, super luxury vehicle here. Definitely comes with a lot of different amenities. One other thing that I really like is when the back seats have two individual seats. I love the ability to kind of relax, recline, kind of feel like, you're in the front seat, but you're actually in the back. That's super cool. Looks like you got plenty of legroom here, which we saw how long the vehicle was earlier. And maybe this is Rolls-Royce-esque, right? You got that slide down. If they pull out some champagne bottles, we know where they got that from. But I mean, Rolls-Royce doesn't really, pride itself on its advanced technology or having like huge screens all over the place. There are screens, don't get me wrong. But it just seems this is a little bit more BMW-esque. But if this Chinese brand took the best of Rolls, the best of BMW, the best of Mercedes-Benz, then this is probably a very good vehicle here. And of course, it's electric. I can imagine that it's probably pretty fast as well. And let's see if there's any other pertinent information here with regards to any of this. Daytime running LEDs. The rest of the design is honky. Also inspired to draw strong inspiration from Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Who doesn't love a Cullinan? And then massive LED taillight assembly reminiscent of the Kia Telluride. So I don't think there's anything wrong with these guys, kind of taking advantage of some of the things that people already like about American vehicles, or I don't even know where they're produced. Taking things that people already like about other luxury vehicles and putting it into their own. Let's get down to the price. So up here it's stated that it's 10% of the original. I'm not sure how much a Rolls-Royce goes for. I think it's like $500,000 to $300,000, somewhere around there. So for it to be 10%, it would have to be $30,000. This says that this Hongyi HS9 has been launched in China and other global markets at $80,000. So technically, not really 10%. Rolls-Royce would have to, the Cullinan would have to cost $800,000 for that to be the case. However, still affordable, I think, for most middle-class people. And I think it's a good offering considering how luxury it actually is. Like this in America probably would go for maybe 130 grand, something like that. I think for some higher-end luxury. So I like it. I don't necessarily think they copied Rolls-Royce, but they did take the best of all the vehicles that they could. So appreciate it. Good work, China. That's like the first time I've ever said that before. But anyway, if you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.